Think of that sticky, itchy feeling when you spend a full day on a train or get stuck in a stuffy airport. Your skin feels alien, heavy. You physically want to scrape off that invisible layer of accumulated grime. You feel miserable on a raw, almost animal level. Now imagine that this train keeps running for your entire life, for years, without a single stop. For tens of thousands of years, our ancestors had no concept of a hot shower, antibacterial soap, or deodorant. They slept on damp earth, butchered wild animal carcasses with their bare hands, and wore the exact same untanned animal hide for months on end. By modern standards, they should have turned into rotting, ulcer-covered masses of foul-smelling flesh. Yet they survived. Not only did they survive, but they were biologically healthier than we are. How did our species endure entire ice ages without a single bar of soap, and why is the very thing we call hygiene today actually slowly destroying us? The first thing to realize is that ancient humans did not smell the way a modern city dweller smells after going 3 days without a shower. This is the ultimate paradox of evolution. If you were to give up showering for even a week right now, your co-workers and people on the subway would actively avoid you. But for a Paleolithic hunter, this simply wasn't an issue. We have been thoroughly deceived by body wash commercials. Human sweat, in and of itself, is completely odorless. It is essentially just water and a minuscule trace of salts. The foul odor is actually created by bacteria that feed on this sweat, multiplying at an exponential rate. However, in a world devoid of synthetic fabrics and harsh alkaline soaps, a completely different, perfectly balanced microbiome lived on human skin. It was a literal living shield. Billions of friendly microorganisms worked around the clock to produce natural antibiotics, protecting the skin from aggressive fungi, viruses, and decay. Ancient humans smelled of raw earth, campfire smoke, bitter herbs, and themselves, a living, potent body. But that is only half the truth. The real nightmare for humanity didn't begin when we were savages. It began when we decided to become clean. Right now, you might be thinking, okay, microbes and bacteria make sense. But how could anyone remove a thick layer of grease, soot, and dried blood without soap? It is a fair question. The answer is surprising. They didn't wash it off. They methodically scraped it off. Picture the dim, steam-filled room of an ancient Roman bath or a Greek gymnasium. A famous athlete, fresh off a grueling, hours-long training session, does not head for a stream of cool water. He doesn't have that option. Instead, he takes a curved bronze scraper, a strigil, and systematically scrapes his own body until it turns red, removing a thick mixture of sweat, street dust, and the olive oil he generously coated his skin with before entering the arena. Oil dissolved oil, the dirt absorbed the grime. The man stepped out of that bath impeccably clean, yet his skin remained moisturized and protected. Water in this process was strictly secondary. It was merely the final touch. But let's take a massive step back. Deep into the centuries, into the Ice Age, you have no olive oil, no bronze scraper, and no warm baths. Around you lie nothing but miles of ice, a piercing wind, and wolves. What do you do then? Nature engineered a brilliant mechanism, one that we now eagerly and fiercely destroy during every single morning trip to the bathroom. Sebum, skin oil. It is the perfect, waterproof, nourishing cream that our bodies produce absolutely free of charge. In ancient humans, this layer was thick, dense, and stable. It performed vital functions. It blocked out the freezing cold, retained the body's internal moisture, and prevented external dirt from embedding itself into the deep, living layers of the epidermis. Humans were coated in a durable, natural glaze. It sounds a bit too simple and utopian, doesn't it? As if they were just dirty, ignored it, and lived happily ever after. But here is what the historical facts tell us. The moment humanity invented civilization, built its first major cities, and locked itself within 4 walls, this perfect biological system broke down with a resounding crash. In medieval Europe, people began to smell truly horrific, unbearable. Why did this happen? Because they made a fatal error. They swapped raw animal hides for wool and linen, garments that absorbed sweat and sebum for years and went unwashed for months. At the same time, people developed a panicked dread of open water and baths, genuinely believing that warm water opened up the pores to the deadly plague. They completely wiped out the skin's natural bacterial balance, but had not yet created a powerful chemical alternative to replace it. Humans were trapped right in the middle, in a literal clean hell where filth mixed with the decay of fabrics. We made a mad leap from one extreme to the other, from healthy biological dirt to a sterile chemical dependency. Look at your bathroom right now. Endless rows of plastic bottles, bright tubes, aggressive scrubs, alkaline soaps, sodium lauryl sulfate. Every day, as you step into your morning shower, you commit a quiet act of microviolence against your own organism. You are quite literally washing away your living skin. You are stripping away the protective lipid layer at its roots, completely annihilating the exact beneficial bacteria that evolution meticulously selected for you over the course of 300,000 years. Your body panics at this unnatural exposure. It instantly triggers an emergency survival mode, producing skin oil 3 times faster and more abundantly. As a result, your hair becomes greasy in just 24 hours. Your skin dries out and cracks. Acne, incurable dermatitis, and sudden allergies appear. You have voluntarily trapped yourself in an endless, vicious loop of consumption. First, you strip away your natural protective oil with harsh household chemicals, only to frantically reapply artificial grease from an expensive tube of lotion. We have become incredibly sterile on the outside, yet utterly defenseless and vulnerable on the inside. Any ancient hunter would look at our flaking, perpetually itching, high-maintenance bodies with deep, genuine pity. So how did ancient humans endure long months without what we consider proper washing? The answer is simple and haunting. They didn't endure it. They fully lived in it. And it was never a grueling ordeal or a sign of degradation for them. Their body was an amazing, autonomous, self-cleaning ecosystem, perfectly tuned to a harsh, aggressive environment. The dense grime on the outside protected them from certain death from within. It was their armor, their shield, their salvation. Tonight, you will walk into your bathroom out of habit. You will turn on the hot water, pick up a bar of scented soap, and bring it to your body. And perhaps for one brief second, you will hesitate. You will look at the white steam slowly rising to the ceiling, and you will finally understand this flawless artificial cleanliness, smelling of alpine meadows, is nothing more than a beautiful illusion. An illusion for which your body pays too high, too unnatural a price every single day.